Hi, I just wanted to do an update on my video about the human blueprint. So if you haven't watched the first one, I will put the link in the comments below so you can learn what exactly the human blueprint kinesiology balance is and how it works and why it's so potent. I absolutely love working through this series with my clients, and in that video I shared that it's usually 3 to 4 sessions. What I have found it is most definitely 4 sessions. So the one that I was kind of not giving its full credit or understanding its full value was the celestial circuit at the human blueprint. So the celestial circuit is something that a kinesiologist can always do in their own practice, and that's really just aura realignment, really bringing you back into your body, giving you to really have that stability to sway with whatever life is throwing at you, but to be firmly rooted in your physicality, rooted in the earth. And it's really working with different levels, and it's beautiful on its own. But with the human blueprint, it goes that much further, that it's really working with you at that blueprint level, and it's really going through the multidimensionality, and it's also breaks it up into 2 parts. So we've got the structural stability, which is working with the body, working with any stress that the body is under. So I'm finding that this is really important for people that have physical issues. So if you've got a physical, especially if it's a chronic issue, so if you've got a chronic physical issue, then already that's putting a lot of stress in your body because it's under constant stress. So it can be that stress causes you to split off from your body, or I have learnt from some other people that sometimes when we have these chronic issues, it's actually your body trying to call you back to come back in, because you've probably been split off for so long, and most likely from a young age. So these physical issues can manifest. I'm sure you've heard like that you need to listen to your body, the secret language of your body, that these messages are coming from your body to tell you something. Sometimes it's trying to send that signal out to get you to come back into your body, and you don't want to come back into your body because you know how painful it is. You don't want to experience all of that pain. So it's basic survival skill or action is to split off and not be in it, which makes sense. So it's really powerful to work with that, going into the structural stability. And then the other phase of it is the light body or the auric body. And again, that is, you may be out there too much, and often there'll be the emotions that are causing you to split off, or always staying in the thought form layer. So especially for people that are always in their minds, then the light body one is really good to again bring you back into your body, bringing you back into your heart, and to really just allow yourself to drop in and have that sense of ease. I really liken it to that dropping in and connecting to your heart. So that's the celestial circuit at the blueprint level, and I definitely do recommend it. So the way I'll work with my clients is I'll do the core belief session as our first session, and then our second session is a combination of 2, which is usually the celestial circuit at the blueprint level, as well as the infusion, which is just really infusing what would have come up in the first session and really anchoring that in and making sure that those new reprogrammed beliefs have come into the body, because they can take a while to settle. And especially with the first session, it goes so deep, and so much is changing that we allow it to slowly settle, because we want it to all be done with ease. but we do need to make sure that it does actually get anchored in at some point. So you can either like allow it to just happen in its due course, or in the second session is when I will do that. And I'll always be checking with the body which one it needs first, because sometimes it needs that to be anchored in before the celestial circuit can be done to really bring you back in, because it needs to know that that core belief has finally been anchored in and it's safe to come back into the body. Or it could be vice versa, that the celestial circuit needs to be done for you to be really anchored into your body before that core belief can be really anchored into your body. So it's a bit of that chicken or the egg kind of thing, but your body has the answers, and as your kinesiologist, all I do is tune into your body's wisdom, and your body will tell me what it needs to do. But yeah, so sometimes another reason that the celestial circuit is so powerful is because it could be the block that, like, especially if you've been doing so much work for so long, and like this issue, you've tried it for every modality, you've tried it from every angle, you've made so many changes. Like, it's not that you're not doing the work, it's not that like you're stuck with it forever. Sometimes it could be as simple as needing that celestial circuit at the blueprint level to really bring you back into your body, and then that can then allow it to flow. So yeah. The other thing that I wanted to update on is the final session is working with the miasms, and I have been actually finding it quite hilarious that, and I probably shouldn't say hilarious, but it's been quite interesting that there's always something that will come up to delay this final session from happening. And I know that for myself personally, it took 2 attempts. It was the 3rd attempt that we finally had it done on myself, and that was some really old ancient energy. And I'm pretty sure I shared that in the other video, that these miasms are really working with this old energy that's been passed down, most often through the bloodlines, but also at that frequency level. So I would have shared how it's been, I was always expecting it to be through the bloodline, but it can also be a frequency thing as well. And it's because these miasms are their own consciousness. It's like, and I'm still delving into it more. I'm exploring some homeopathic literature and listening to some other information, but it's understanding, like, so we already know that like viruses and bacteria and parasites, they already have their own consciousness, and they create these diseases, and it's like within that disease level that there's different diseases that can be all grouped together. They're all quite similar, and it's at that level that's where that miasm is. It's the collective consciousness, so to speak, for this disease group. And there's all these characteristics, all these traits that are very what's the word I want, very clear to see. It's only when you're reflecting that you can see that. So it's been very interesting that I have been with the ones that have come through so far. It has been going back as far back, like it's going back 10, 15 generations. It's going back to the 1500s. For myself personally, it was like an ancestor that was like probably like ancient Sumeria. I very much felt like it was like the dawn of time. So it's this old energy that has just been stuck in our DNA for so long, and it's time to shift it, but it doesn't want to be shifted. So it has its own survival mechanisms, and because it's its own consciousness, it seems to create these these just ways to prevent the session from happening. So I just wanted to bring that to your awareness, to know that the final session is the most important session of the Human Blueprint series, but it's also the one that there will be a lot of resistance, whether you are conscious of it or not, and most likely it will be subconscious. Most likely it will be external factors that will be delaying the session from happening, because it just seems to manifest that way. I have no other way to explain it at this stage. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your awareness, to remind you of your sovereignty, to remind you that when you do work with me or any other practitioner to do the Human Blueprint series, to know that the miasm session is the most powerful, but it's also going to be the one that will be the hardest to get to. So bear that in mind. And the Human Blueprint series is so transformative. It really will allow you to go right down to that molecular level, that subatomic level, and get that DNA level, that chromosome level, just to really get down to where it is that you need to release something that is blocking you. And you may have tried other ways, but it's like there's this block to it, or they're locked. And the Human Blueprint series seems to have this I don't know if it's just got the key to get in, or yeah, it's been really interesting how deep it goes and how it does it with such softness and such ease that we can really access these old and limiting and sometimes destructive patterns and behaviors and beliefs, and understand where they've come from. And I guess it's with that compassion that's how we're able to make such transformative shifts, because there's no judgment. Whatever comes up in a session, it's always so interesting and so poignant and so relevant to my clients. It's just it really just boggles my mind every time, and I just love that. I love as much as I don't love surprises, I do love surprises. So yeah, whenever we uncover what's underneath it and to see how it links, it interrelates, it's finding that common thread. It's just so it's so liberating. So I will leave it at that. And yeah, as I said, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. And if you want to reach out or book a session, then again, in the comments, you'll find out all the ways to reach me. And please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will share more things about kinesiology and quantum healing and all the interesting things that show up in my work.